Well, hello. This is National Sales Director Summer Fortenberry, and I'm so excited to share with you today about one of my favorite topics in our business, and that is team building or recruiting. And I will tell you that it is so important that you understand the attitude that recruiting or team building is all about an attitude. One thing that you want to think about as you're starting to build your teams and to move forward in your business is to really understand why you want to do that. And there are so many reasons. I think about how much this Mary Kay business has changed my life. At 19 years old, I had cystic acne. I was living in a 600 square foot single wide trailer, living paycheck to paycheck. And now my life has been completely transformed by this amazing, incredible opportunity. And I am so thankful that someone did not prejudge me or say, she doesn't have the money to do that, or she doesn't have the time to do that, or she doesn't wear makeup, she would never do that. But instead just shared the opportunity with me freely and forever changed my life and so many lives that I've had the opportunity to share this incredible opportunity with as well. So be excited about sharing this amazing opportunity, ladies. There is nothing better. There are a lot of new companies coming up and blah, blah, blah. They don't have the 51.5-year rich history that we have, the debt-free history that we have, the longevity that we have, the growth that we have globally. So it's just such an exciting time to be part of Mary Kay, and you have to be excited and believe in this incredible opportunity in order to pass it on to other people. So your passion and belief have to be really high, and our passion and belief is really high when we are holding appointments and parties. When we are not selling product, it's hard to be excited about anything. We don't team build with integrity or share with other people because we start to wonder if it works ourselves. And Mary Kay, the lady, said, nothing happens till somebody sells something. So if you're frustrated with your business and you're not team building the way that you want to, number one, ask yourself, am I selling enough product? Am I working on my inner circle week and seeing faces every single week? Because if you are seeing faces, you're going to sell product and you're going to want to pass this incredible opportunity on. We as women, we do everything together. We go to the same doctors, we go to the same hairstylist, the same nail lady. My goodness, we go to dinner, we even go to the restroom together. So when we are naturally excited about something, we're going to pass it on. So make sure that your passion and your belief is high in your business. The money can change people's financial situations. It definitely has mine. Going from paycheck to paycheck living to years later, a six-figure income. I mean, I have been blessed to have a six-figure income for the last 6 to 7 years. Been blessed to travel the world, all expenses paid by Mary Kay. When I signed my agreement at 19, I had never been on an airplane, much less across the world. So it really is an incredible and amazing opportunity to change lives, so many lives. It is so important that you understand why you are personally doing this business. And for all of us, it's different. And throughout your Mary Kay career, it will change and it will evolve. When I started my business, I signed up to buy my products half price. Very quickly did my power start. And within the month, I knew that this was something I wanted to do for life. And if I had any doubt, I attended seminars, show up to your events, and watch those national sales directors debut on stage, watch their children speak to them on stage, and knew that this was the big thing that God had called me to with my life. But that didn't start in the beginning, but you need to know why you're doing this business. And anyone in the world that creates a movement and literally changes history always thinks why first, not how and what. I'll show you a little circle, and this is not my brilliance. This is Simon Sinek, who wrote a book called Start With Why. And it just shows 3 circles, and it starts in the middle with why, how, and what. And this is actually how our brain is divided into 3 sections. And people who start a movement and great leaders always start with why. Then they move out to how and the what. And the opposite of true of people who maybe are just in something for money and not as much enriching lives or changing lives. And so I want you to think about thinking from the inside out. And instead of thinking about the how and the what and how many faces and how many inner circle weeks and all that, first start with why. Because when you really understand why Mary Kay for you, then it's easy to fill in the how and the what. When we are not doing the actions or enough bookings or enough recruiting interviews or whatever we're not doing enough of, it's generally because we're not clear on why to start. And when we are clear on why to start, then we're very clear on where we're going. It's easy for me to think about my why today. I'm in my soon-to-be beautiful little girl's nursery who's going to be born any day. And for me, my business has been so much about being a work-from-home mom and being able to be with my children and work from home, have the career, and not give up my family at the same time. And I know so many of you may be driving to work every day right now and feeling like there's got to be more to life. And guess what? There is. And I'm living proof of that. I grew up in a small town. I didn't grow up in a big glamorous city. And, literally have just one step at a time moved up the career path. And so my why is very clear to me. And one of those things is my family. And it's become even bigger than that as my Mary Kay business and career has evolved. But I know that's one of the things that it starts with. Simon Sinek, in his book, Start With Why, he talks about people who've created movements within our society. Like, for instance, Martin Luther King. He started with why. He had the how and the what later. He wanted to change the world. And he did change the world because he spoke from his heart. It was about connecting with people, making his why their own why, and then carrying it out. In a time with no text messaging or internet, he was able to ignite how many people on that mall in Washington one day because he started with why. Some companies that use that whole philosophy have been the most successful companies in our country and across the world. For instance, Hallmark. If you watch their commercial, you're like bawling your eyes out. And then at the end, you realize it's about a greeting card. But the whole commercial is about the emotional connection and how a card creates that, but you don't even know it's a card. It's kind of like an afterthought. Oh yeah, by the way, we sell cards. Apple computer. They want to make the world more vivid, a more vivid experience around you. They want to make it come to life and live in color and make your life more convenient. And by the way, we sell computers. Want to buy one? Whereas other commercials come on, it's just buy this computer has this many gigabytes or this many megabytes, and it does this, and it's all about the how and what. Very different than the why. The Wright brothers, when they flew at Kitty Hawk, did you know that their father was quoted for saying that it was like ignorant to even try to fly? Good thing they didn't listen, right? You ever been ridiculed by your friends or family? Like, of course, we all have been. Thank God they didn't listen. But did you know there was another man up north that was trying to fly the same time the Wright brothers were? And he had all the money and financial backing, but guess what? It wasn't in his heart. Those boys had a point to prove. They wanted to change transportation for the world we live in. And they flew at Kitty Hawk that day because their heart was over the bar. Is your heart over the bar? Because that's the thing that makes the difference versus not. Chick-fil-A, an incredible restaurant chain, founded on Christian principles. That's their why. Their mission statement is, how can I serve you? They want to serve others. You walk in and that part of the how and the what, because their mission is servanthood, they dress nicer than other fast food restaurants. It's a different experience. There are flowers on the table. They come around and ask you if you need anything. They don't do that at other fast food restaurants. Now, some of the other restaurants are trying to, catch up with them because they've been so successful because they put you, the consumer, at the center of what they do. And that's what we need to do, is to understand our why, because other women will connect with our hearts and not just a bunch of facts. We are recruiting 90% women. And women, we are like spaghetti noodles, and everything is interconnected, and the meatballs and the noodles, and it's all mashed together. And if the meatball gets moved, the whole spaghetti plate is affected. If the dog dies, if grandma's sick, if we're having a new baby, everything. And so we need to know that, because it's all about the emotional connection and not as much about facts. If we were sitting down to recruit a man, we would share the facts and he would say yes or no, and it would be that simple, but we're not. We're sharing with women, and men are like waffles. Their brains have little boxes, and they can open the box and then close this one and their work box and they go home to the family, and it's a totally different part of their brain. But we as women are not that way, and so we need to understand that as we're sharing this opportunity, we can't just go into a party and be like, I'm doing Mary Kay to make extra money. That's not going to recruit anybody, you guys. There's a lot of different opportunities people can choose to make today. You have to touch a woman's heart before she's excited about being part of what you are doing. And you have to be believable and passionate that you are making money. And so you must be making money and holding appointments in order to have that testimony and that platform to share with other people. And so that is so important. What is your why today? Is it to make an extra $300 a week? Is it to pay for college? Is it to take care of aging parents? Maybe it's to pay off credit card debt or student loans. And then I want you to ask yourself, in addition to that, if you could pay off all the credit card debt, or go on the dream vacation you've been thinking about, then what? What would be next? Well, then I would pay off my kids' college tuition. Okay, then what? Then we would take a trip. Okay, great. Then what? Well, Summer, I haven't even thought that far. Guess what, you guys? Most people haven't, because we're so busy living in survival mode in America that we're missing out on the great big things that God calls us to, because we're so busy living for today and the moment and just surviving instead of thriving, which is what He has called us to do, and to live in a life of victory and joy, which is what attracts people to us. And so taking time and asking yourself, if I could pay off all the bills and we could travel everywhere we wanted to travel and we still had money, what would I do then? What would I do then? And that's going to be when you really start to figure out really why. Like your deep down why for your whole life. Not even just your business. And sadly, most people don't know that. But you guys, when you get clear on that, it is so easy to share this opportunity because you know where you're going. And so I want you to spend some time thinking about that, because we're going to talk about creating your dream book. And in order to create your dream book, you need to know those things. And maybe you're not there where you don't have all the huge why figured out yet, but you have a lot of the small things. And when you can walk into a party and say, I'm doing Mary Kay to make an extra $1,500 a month to pay for my child's college tuition loan, and then I'm going to do da-da-da, and I'm so excited about that. And it has been awesome. I have new Sally who's on my team, and she was just able to make her car payment this month. Those are things that real women can relate to. You can't just go into the party, though, and say, I'm doing Mary Kay to make money. The money's really great. That doesn't really do it. And so if you are not recruiting, that may be what you're doing. And you do want to share at the beginning of your party just a 20-second, not 20-minute to 1 minute story, a little bit about why you're doing it. But at that point, you're just trying to tease people into listening to you, because John Maxwell says people buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. And so they don't know Mary Kay Inc. They know Mary Kay Inc. through you. And if they're excited about your goals, I'm so excited because I'm going on Target to earn my first car this month, or I'm earning my first pink Cadillac, or I'm earning a beautiful red bag that my director is, giving away, or a Michael Kors bag, or whatever. And you guys being here today is helping me reach that goal. We as women love to help each other out. That's a lot different than going in and saying, I'm doing Mary Kay to make extra money. The money's great. So in the beginning, sharing that short, teasing almost story. Not a lot, because you're just getting started. But then in the middle, you want to have that dream book constructed. And a dream book, it's available on my website. How to put it together is your heart and the facts all in one book. And it's just like a scrapbook. And you can put like a copy of your director's highest commission check, your star gold prize, the trips you want to take your family on. Maybe you're working to earn your husband a 4-wheeler. I don't know, whatever he wants, a gun, whatever his thing is. And you put pictures, visual images of those things in that book, along with the fact sheets of how we make our money. So you're sharing the marketing plan, but you're sharing your heart too. And it's not just about fact. It's hearts and facts together, because it's about the heart and the head, and you got to have both, you guys. So the dream book, like I said, there's the template on my website to create that. And when you're at that party, I usually share mine after we do all the skincare, before we do the dash out the door. because I used to do it at the end, and what I found was that trying to do the marketing at the end along with closing out the sales overwhelmed women. And then they were trying to decide what they were going to buy and if they were interested in the business, or they just weren't listening to me about the business opportunity because they were trying to already think about what they were going to buy. So share it in the middle. Then go and finish your makeover. It gives them more of a chance to digest what you've said. Then do your close, your table close and your individual close. And so I'm going to kind of put that together for you as far as how it works. But you share your dream book. And you guys, you really need to tell an iStory that brings you to tears, not because you're being fake, but because you are so passionate about what you're doing. And, you know, gosh, I think I probably share my iStory 50 times a month sometimes. And it still will bring me to tears sometimes because I'm so grateful for how it's changed my life. I think about that little tiny trailer I drive past every day on the way to my office. And then I walk out into my garage and see that $80,000 car that's worth more than the home that I lived in when I started my Mary Kay business. I think about the moments I've had with my children because of this business. I think about the women that are in my life that I wouldn't even know, that are like my family. I love them so much, and you're part of that family. And so I know in the beginning you don't have all of that of a that big of a testimony. All that comes, but put on pen and paper. Use pen and paper to put down how Mary Kay has changed your life, because I think you'll be amazed at how much it really has. And when you can vocalize that, then you can figure out how to put it in picture form. Pictures are so important in the dream book because you guys, people are 89% visual learners. So if all you're doing is sharing facts, only 11% of the people you're talking to are hearing you, because only 11% of people in America learn by hearing, especially in our technology graphic age. So pictures are powerful. They might not even remember what you say, but they'll remember the picture of your kids at Disney. I was able to take my kids to Disney when I became a national sales director, which was my big promise to them, and then it would be the crazy trip that we spent tons of money, and oh, we did. And it was one of the most 5 amazing days of my life to be able to do that for my boys and to not have to worry about money at all after all the journey that we have been through. And so those visual images are so powerful. You know, instead of just saying, I'm helping pay off my child's college tuition, put a picture of your son or your daughter. You know, in a cap or gown from high school, or find a great picture of the two of you together. So take the time to pull your pictures together. Your book does not have to be perfect. Mine is not at all. It has pictures of the different cars, and then it also has, you know, my goals and the things I've been able to do, and then also the things that I'm working on. So if you earn a bling hat this month for your Mary Kay business, you can put a picture in that. Say, this is something I've already done. This is something I'm working on. This is what I'm excited about this whole year. I'm going to seminar, like a picture of the stage with some diamonds and all of that. So after you're done sharing the dream book, then at that point, I tell them, now if you ask a question, I just have a roll of tickets with some little goodie things to give away, samples and things about the business. I'm going to give you 3 tickets for asking any question about the business. And at that point, if they ask questions about the product, I'll be like, we'll go back to the products in a minute. This is just about the business opportunity. I want them to start asking questions. You guys, usually the loudest person in the room is not the one that you want to recruit. It may be the girl who sits off to the back and like you can just see her wheels spinning. But you want to create an environment that's comfortable for her to ask questions. And so, keep saying, you can't get an entry for my free basket giveaway today or my goodie bag giveaway if you don't ask a question. Everybody think of a question. And if they don't start asking questions, I'll feed them some questions to ask. So at that point, I'll even go ahead and talk about the starter kit. I have a picture of that in my book and how much it costs to start and how they can buy their products half price that way. And then I get them to fill out a survey and fill out the rating at the bottom. Sometimes somebody will say, I'm not interested, I don't want to fill out the survey, and that can spread like a virus very quickly. So what I do is just say, it's okay, just write you're not interested at the bottom and give it back to me, because I don't want the young woman who is interested to get involved in that and just not fill it out and me not be able to follow up with her. So really important to really watch and listen to the questions that are asked and their body language, and just, you can see it in their eyes. I remember walking into a party on a Saturday night. We were working to finish our national area, and this cute young woman was invited with her sister last minute, and her name is Mandy Swink. She just won her pink Cadillac. Her eyes were just so in tune to everything I said at that party. Like, I knew she was interested. We just had a connection, and it wasn't anything she said or asked. It was just me looking into her eyes while I was speaking that night about how this business had changed my life, that she was interested. I followed up with her the next day, and she said, if I do this, I want to be like you. I don't want to play with this. And of course, a lot of you know she finished her unit in a month, and now she just earned a pink Cadillac, and I'm so proud of her. And so many other stories like that. So watch body language, because it's so powerful. Get them to fill out the survey. Then move on, finish your makeover, do your table close and your individual close. If you're not doing both, you guys, you're leaving lots of money on the table. So you get with your director and make sure you are proficient in both of those. So important. And then when I get her one-on-one, I flip through the surveys and I've looked at the ratings, but I don't go so much off of that as my gut. Like, I know I'm always going to pick at least 2 from every single party, two, to give recruiting packets to and to follow up with. And sometimes people are ready to sign on the spot, but you guys always pick 2. And some of them are the ones who put high ratings on their surveys, and some of them aren't. And it does not matter to me at all, because it is about what I feel in my gut. Just listen to your gut. God gave you that for a reason. And so at the individual consultation, you know, I go through the sales part first, write up her sales ticket, schedule her follow-up. You know, that's a mistake I see people make too, consultants make, is I'm not scheduling her follow-up because I'm pretty sure she's going to sign up. No. You might not get her on the phone and she might not sign up, but if she has a follow-up appointment and she hasn't signed up by then and you get back in front of her, guess what? She's going to. So make sure you book that follow-up appointment first, book, sell, coach, and then recruit in that order. That's how it works. And then if she's one of the ones I want to talk to, and sometimes there's 4 or 5, not just 2, then I'll just look at her and say, you know, Sally, I know you might not ever consider this, or you might think it's silly, because I did too. But part of my training tonight is to get 2 sharp women that are here to look through some information. Would you be willing to look just to help me with my training? I think you'd be amazing. That's a lot different than saying, hey, just call and listen to this number. You don't have to do it, but you get a free lip gloss. Because I'm personalizing it and slowly and discreetly giving her a sincere compliment. You're sharp. You know, I'm looking for 2 sharp women tonight to help me with my training and just to look over some more information. Would you be willing to look over and let my sales director give you a follow-up phone call? And then I give her the recruiting packet. So you guys, you got to have those packets made. If you don't, you're missing out. Again, what did we say? 89% of people are visual learners. And so if you're sending her home without information, she's excited and she goes home to her husband. She's like, I want to do this Mary Kay thing. And like, all she thinks about is how exciting it is. And then he starts asking her questions and she has nothing to look over to show to him. She doesn't have a picture of the starter kit. She doesn't have anything that says how much it is. And so, you know, again, it's the head and the heart. You got to have both components. So not being organized and not being prepared for your parties can really cost you team members. And so really important to make sure you send her home with that packet and you go ahead and say to her at that point, now, Sally, my director is going to call you tomorrow, and she is not pushy at all, I promise you. She's just going to ask you some quick questions and follow up with you, and when would be a good time for her to call you tomorrow? And find out a couple good times. Don't send your director a text and be like, you have to call her at 2 o'clock tomorrow. That's, you know, might be hard. Your director might have appointments booked. So find a couple good times and then set up that follow-up appointment. And the only reason you should be doing your own follow-ups is if your director has looked at you and said you're ready to do your own. And at that point, you can do your own. But until then, you need to know your director is trained. She's a trained professional recruiter. She is like a headhunter, and she is great at what she does. And if you're not recruiting people, you might not be allowing your director to follow up. And guess what? You're not a trained professional recruiter yet. That takes time. And honestly, it takes years to become great at. It did for me. And so it will for you too. And it's a work in progress, and you will become great at it. But let her help you. That is so important. So you're sending her home with the information packet. You're setting up the follow-up. You text your director on the way home, not while you're driving. Get in the car, send her a text, or call her or box her and let her know about the follow-up for the next day. Very, very important at that point. You guys, your best recruits are going to come from parties. The biggest thing I see is people going out and recruiting everybody they know, and that's great, but you're going to run out of people you know. And if you recruit somebody who hasn't been facialed, they don't understand the reason to keep product on hand. They don't understand what they're really going to be doing at the facials. They think they're just going to recruit everybody they know like you have been. And then you're not really selling products, so you're not making money that way. So then you don't really have the testimony of you make money at this business selling and team building. And yes, you do make a lot more when you are team building and selling together, you guys. Not just selling, not just team building. The magic of Mary Kay happens together at the party. And when you are in front of women and they're excited about the product, that is your best chance to get them to join your team, quite honestly. And you know, if she keeps asking you questions in that individual consultation, like, or maybe she's spending like $300 or $200, why not get her to go ahead and sign up? Remind them on that placemat when you're closing them out. It only costs $116 to start your own business. It could make you millions of dollars. What do you have to lose? If she keeps asking you questions, you take it as far as she'll allow you to without crossing the line and making her feel totally, you know, uncomfortable, of course, because we don't want to be pushy. We want to attract, not attack. We do not attack in our national area at all. We draw people in with our excitement and our joy, and then they want to be part of what we're doing. So very, very important that you know when you walk into the party every night what your director is offering for people who sign on the spot. Because if you have somebody ready to sign on the spot, and you will, you need to be prepared to pull that agreement out and to get her signed up right away. Or to pull your computer out and let her fill out her e-link agreement right then and there so that you can add her to your team immediately and not even have to do the follow-up. You know, she doesn't have to talk to your sales director to sign up. We are here to do that if she's not quite ready on the spot. But if you feel like you can go ahead and get a commitment from her that night, then do it, because the excitement decreases by percentages every hour she's away from that product. And again, I just want to say one more time, your greatest team members are going to come from those appointments. And so if you're not holding appointments, that's why you're not recruiting enough people, or you're not recruiting the right kind of person. Because when they come to a party, they understand. You are like training them before they ever sign up. And how Mary Kay works, the philosophy of our company and making sure that fits in with her, the importance of carrying products on hand, the experience that we provide, the servant's mentality that we have, all of that. You don't want to explain all that to her because she's just experienced it. She's choosing to be part of it. And so it makes life so easy. You know, we also have our Listen for a Lip Gloss line, and that is a great layering tool, you guys. But nothing takes the place of being in front of a woman, eye to eye, face to face, at an appointment, experiencing the product, and then signing her agreement versus, hey, get a free lip gloss, call this number. That doesn't work. It's an extensive layering process at that point, and I think that's why people struggle to recruit, because they rely on that more than anything else. They're not sharing their dream book at their parties. At the end, they're just saying, hey, call this number. No, that's not going to get people ignited in your vision and on your team. And so if you want to build a strong, powerhouse, rock solid team, replace an income, move forward, become a director, and even a national sales director, it is very important you are in front of faces every single day. And so, you know, I'm not discouraging you from getting people to listen for a lip gloss. If she looks through the packet and she follows up with your director and she's still not quite ready, your director might suggest she listen for a lip gloss, or maybe she comes to the meeting, she's not quite ready to sign up, and we're following up with her from that. Again, your director is following up with her. Are you helping make sure your director knows who you need her to follow up with right away, and making sure that happens within 24 to 48 hours? Then, you know, just the lip gloss call alone is just not going to build a rock solid team for you. It is made to be used as a tool, and a tool alone is not going to be completely successful. So that is so important. So this week, I want you to think about, do you have your dream book? Spend some time thinking about your why. And if you aren't adding team members like you need to, Maybe you're not clear on your why. Maybe you don't have your dream book together. Maybe you're not allowing your sales director to follow up with the people who are interested. There's a lot of small things, you guys. It's usually if you just change one small thing, it changes everything. Everything. I remember Leslie Spees, who's one of our top directors, was an amazing seller. She sold product for 6 months like nobody's business and didn't get a team member. And I said to myself, when she learns how to team build like she sells, when she becomes passionate about passing on the opportunity like she sells product, she's going to be unstoppable. And she went to Beach Retreat, and she saw Kimberly Perkins and Rachel Naylor, who are young, driving free cars, and she's like, they are children, and they're driving free cars. And if they can, I can. And it flipped the switch in her brain about recruiting, and she started sharing the opportunity with every single person, believing what an incredible opportunity it was. And within a year, she became a director, earned a pink Cadillac, and was #1 in her debut in class. So she is incredible. And so don't see it as bad if you're struggling with your recruiting right now, because it's just about flipping the switch in your brain, thinking a little differently, making sure you're sharing the right things, connecting with a head and a heart, not just one or the other, putting it all together in your dream book, doing the survey. The surveys are on my website. You can use Did You Know or Have You Pondered Pink. It doesn't matter. They fill that out right after you share the dream book, then asking at the individual consultation for at least 2 to follow up with your director the next day, sending them home with recruiting packets if they don't sign up on the spot, knowing what your director is willing to offer if somebody signs up on the spot that night in case she's ready to go all in already, and then, getting your director the information for the follow-up the next day if she hasn't signed up. And then your director will guide you through the next step. If she's not quite ready, if she needs some more layering, which a lot of people do, she will totally guide you through that, you guys. Trust her. She has your best interest at heart. So if you don't have your dream book together, get it together this week. And my challenge to you is to share your dream book with 5 new women. Maybe there are 5 customers you facialed that you just honestly didn't share the opportunity with. Go back and share it with them. Maybe you have 5 new faces booked this week at different parties. Share it with them. It doesn't matter. But anyone who shares your dream book with 5 new women this week and then sends me a text to let me know, I'm going to have a little gift for you for, implementing what we talked about today, because I can give you everything in the world, all the knowledge that I have, almost 14 years. But I can't make you willing. I can't make you willing. I really came up with a dream book concept years ago. I had been a very successful director. We had done unit clubs and earned pink Cadillacs, but I wanted a quantum leap in my business. So any of you want a quantum leap in your business or your life or your finances? And something was missing, and I was doing marketing games and sharing the facts, and then I sat down and thought about what to change and came up with the concept of the dream book. And several other directors in Mary Kay were using something similar, and that changed everything. I went from doing, $300,000, $400,000 unit clubs to $500,000 the next year, $500,000 director. Then the next year I won my first top trip, another top trip, another top trip, another top trip, and then I became a national sales director. My recruiting changed. My director's recruiting changed. My recruits' recruiting changed because I made a change. And so please trust me today that this will work, and it will change your business forever. You just got to be willing. And if you've tried before to move up and it hasn't worked, you have to pray that God will give you new eyes, and He will make all things new in your business, and that you will just believe with childlike faith that this is the most amazing opportunity in the world, because it is. And get excited about getting out there and sharing that dream book this week with 5 women. I hope you have an amazing week.